What up, IDS Mob? It's your boy HarryWilmington here. Still getting over a cold, so that's why I sound like this. But today, I wanted to answer a question from a guy that left a comment under my video. Does her pulling away mean she wants you to pursue harder? Because he asked a question about a woman who he went on a date with, and then she said that she's very, very busy. And since that time, he hasn't been able to get her on a date, and she's being kind of flimsy with her text. And so I wanted to kind of go over his situation because I think sometimes men, when they're dating women, their own interest in the woman oftentimes can make them blind to what their reality is of going out with you, what they're feeling, and why it is they're deciding not to respond and not to go out with you. By the way, guys, if you want your questions answered, you can write to me at HarryWilmington@gmail.com or leave a comment down below. If you want your questions answered a lot faster, I recommend joining the Introvert Dating Success Academy, where you'll get instant answers to your questions via email. You can also sign up for one-on-one coaching at the website. So let's get into this guy's comment. So, in response to my pulling away, does pulling away mean that she wants you to pursue harder? He said, here's a novel idea. What if she's not playing games and needs space? Okay, so in my dating practice, I have found that when a woman tells you she needs space, it means one of two things. Either A, she's really not interested, but she's trying to passively give you the message in hopes that you'll get it so she doesn't have to directly hurt your feelings. The other one is that she does like you, but she starts to recognize that you're trying to contact her too much, you're trying to be around her too much, and it's starting to feel a little needy, it's starting to feel a little bit more forced than she wants it to, and so she may need you to back away a bit, because ultimately, women want to come to you. And there's this whole thing that men believe that men are supposed to chase women. I have found that me chasing women typically doesn't work in my favor, because as men, our version of being pursuers is to be as aggressive as possible. Women are delicate. They don't need all this extra aggression that we're trying to bring to our pursuit. So that's why it's better to show your interest and then back up a bit and let her come to you. Versus you trying to just go gung-ho and see her all the time and text her every day and all this other stuff. Anyway, so he says, I met a chick a couple of weeks ago and we had an amazing night, like nuclear. He doesn't explain what that means. It could mean he had a great date with her. They could have hooked up. He doesn't say. But he says, a couple of days later, I asked if she wants to go out that weekend, and she said she'd love to, but with grad school and everything, she doesn't have a lot of free time. Right. But here's the thing, guy. For one, the fact that you already took her on a date means that she was able to make time for the date when she had interest. I don't know what happened on the date, but this is an example of, as men, we can oftentimes feel as though because we had a great date, that it was just as effective for the other person. And you don't really truly know that until you try to ask them out again. So all these first dates you guys go on, don't assume that you did a great job until you get a yes for the second date. Because if you don't, then what that means is, for whatever reason, on that first date, you gave your best, you gave your all, and for some reason it didn't connect with her, and now she's not interested. Which can suck on the woman's side of things, because women are like, man, I went out with this guy, he was a great guy, I really wish I could like him, but I'm just not feeling it, and now I gotta get rid of him. But again, women being women, they're not gonna necessarily do that directly, so they'll say stuff like, oh, I'm too busy, I have 1,100 things I gotta do, and so I just never, ever, ever have time to ever see you again whatsoever. Oh, darn my life. But think about the logic of that. This woman's in grad school. She has to go to classes. She has to study. We'll say she has a busy schedule. At some point, she's got to eat. There's got to be an hour or two on a Saturday morning or sometime in a late afternoon on Sunday where she has an hour of time to fit somebody in that she finds truly important. And I say this as a guy that has dated lawyers, doctors, teachers, some of them who are still in school studying for their MCATs, their whatever the law thing is. I'm not very good at that stuff. But the point is that I've dated women who were in those positions where their workload was extremely floored, but they still made time to see me because I'm an important part of their day. And if they really like me, they recognize that spending time is the only way that you can build and connect with a person that you really like. Women that aren't making that time for you are trying to tell you subtly that they've just lost interest. So when women say, I'm too busy, always translate that to mean I'm no longer interested. Because women, as I said in the previous video, women that like you, help you. Women that don't, won't. A woman that is hella busy but likes you will carve out time in her schedule to see you. I remember I dated this lawyer woman many years ago. And she would travel around the country to go to different schools to recruit people to come to college here in California, right? And she had one time where she had to fly back into California. She had like a 3.5 hour layover, and then she was going to go right back to the airport and fly out. And when I tell you, this chick got to the airport, got in her car, drove to come get me, drove me around for like 25 minutes just so we could talk and catch up, dropped me back off at my place, went back to the airport, and then flew off. So even in that ridiculous scenario where she technically only had 3.5 hours of a delay between flights, she still made time to see me, despite how busy she was. Why? Because she wanted to let me know at the time that she really liked me. So all these excuses, it's just BS. It simply is. Anyway, he says, so I don't text her for about a week and a half. And then I shoot her a quick little feeler text like, what's up? Hope you're doing well. Been busy with work, but otherwise I've been good. So guys, I need you to stop doing this. I need you to stop having full-on conversations with somebody and finishing up the conversation before they respond. For one, I don't believe you should be sending filler texts. It's not necessary. The text you should be sending to women should always be involved about trying to get a date with her. So even if it's been a week and a half, the first thing you should send her is, hey, what's going on? Wanted to see if you were free for X, Y, and Z. That's it. You don't need filler text. You don't need text to prep her up. If she wants to see you, then she will say yes to it. You don't need to do all these extra texts to make that happen. But more importantly, yeah, if you were gonna send that out, you saying, what's up? Hope you're doing well, blah, blah, blah. Like you're having a full-on conversation. It would have been better for you to just say, hey, just want to check in to see how you're doing, and then wait for her to respond back. And then your text after that should be, that's great. Hey, I know you're busy, but I want to see if you have some free time on X day to meet up for a quick meal. Let me know if you're available. So again, feeler texts to women are not necessary. All your texts to women early on in the dating process should be about getting a date. None of this flirting over text, none of this trying to build rapport. It's simply to get the date. And if you go to the Introvert Dating Success Membership Academy, you can actually read the ebook that I have about texting like a boss. Basically, it's the 21 texting commandments that you need to follow when you're texting women so you get the best results. Anyway, so she responded fairly quickly and seemed excited to hear from me. Stop. No, I don't know how you read that over text, because the reality is whether she's sending heart emojis or exclamation points, that doesn't necessarily mean she's feeling a thing. It means that her brain is allowing her to type that stuff out. The only way you get to know she's excited is if you ask her for a date and she says yes to it, and then you show up and she shows up. Otherwise, all this, I can read her emotions through text, is pure bullcrap, all right? Continuing, so she responded fairly quickly and seemed excited to hear from me. I sent her a reply and crickets. But she did make it clear early on that she doesn't have time. You know, it's interesting. I have a friend of mine from college who I hadn't seen in like years, like since like 2002, 2003 or something like that. And she's been traveling all around the world. She recently moved back to she moved to California to go to school in San Diego. When she was coming to California, I said, hey, haven't seen you in a while. Would love to catch up. Let's meet up. So she drove through LA with a friend of hers, and we got to catch up. This is, by the way, not a girl I'm interested in. It's just there's a point to the story. So anyway, so we hang out for the day, and then she drives down to San Diego. So fast forward to a couple weeks ago, and I say, hey, like, I don't know if you're busy, but, you know, I'd love to hang out. I can come down to San Diego and see what's up. And her response was, dude, like, I'm in grad school right now. I'd love to see you, but I am hella busy. My schedule is floored. Even on the weekends, I'm like studying and getting ready for, you know, various tests and stuff like that. But after a certain date in December, I'm completely free for a month and a half. I'd love to see you. So even this busy woman who, just like this girl, was also in grad school, still managed to say, hey, I can't see you at the moment because I'm busy, but at this date and time, I can definitely make time to see you. Why? Well, in this case, we're just friends, so she's not interested in me, yada, yada, yada. But again, women that like you, or even friends of yours that are interested in hanging out with you, help you. So you got to ask yourself, this woman's in grad school. You're telling me at the end of the semester, she can't make time to see you? You're telling me she can't say, hey, I'm busy right now for the next 4 or 5 weeks, but in December before we go back home for whatever, I can meet up? Like, that's what women that really like you and want to see you will do of their own accord. You won't have to ask them, hey, so like, I know you said you can't make this day, but what about blah, 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 blah. No, women that like you can't help but let you know when they're available to see you because they like you. It's a very simple system. Women that like you help you by letting you know when they're available to see you. Women that aren't interested don't do that and make all the excuses in the world why they can't see you. But I can guarantee you, she's still hanging out with her girlfriends. She's still going out with other people at night to have dinners and go to clubs. And so I just want you guys to get out of the notion that women are telling you things that are actually meant to be believed. They're telling you these things because they're trying to passively say to you that they don't want to see you. And they're contradicting themselves in the process. Like I said, she said she's too busy, but she already went on a date with a guy. If she had made a connection with the guy on that first date, she would be more than happy when he reached out to her to say, I want to go on another date, if that would have happened. But he didn't do that. He reached out to try to do a feeler text. Don't do feeler text. Again, reach out to women via text to ask them out. I still recommend doing phone calls. Yes, I'm 40. I have been able to date women that are younger than me, much younger than me, and phone calls still reign supreme, regardless of what you guys think about this being the texting age. So do phone calls if you can. But yeah. So then he says, so where do I go from here? Just keeping focused on work and my fitness. And in the meantime, I have plans to meet up with other girls. Now that's the part he got right, is that you should, in the early dating process, you should always be seeing other women because like this girl flaked on him, but even though there were things he could have done better or could have recognized better, if he had other women that were available for him to date, then no harm, no foul, because if he loses this one, he's got 3 other women on the roster that he can try to take out and see which one of those will eventually become the girlfriend, all right? But just wanted to point some of that stuff out to you guys. Now, if you want more lessons on that, obviously you can watch my YouTube channel at youtube.com/HarryWilmington. Subscribe and like this video. You can also join the Introvert Dating Success Membership Academy. I have a program there called the Top Secret Dating Blueprint, which takes you through the 3-month process of dating that takes you from how to date her, meet, greet, attract, date, land, and ultimately get into a relationship with the woman of your dreams. You can go there now and get a 2-day free trial. We also have there the Smart Digital Dating Program, which teaches you about online dating. We have 7 ways to better communicate with women. There's a whole roster of interviews that I've done with other dating experts. Just really a lot of great stuff at the website, so definitely get a chance to check it out. Also, if you guys want to have some one-on-one coaching with the situation you're going through, click on the coaching tab at introvertdatingsuccess.com, and we can set that up for you today. Thanks, guys, for watching. I'm Harry Wilmington, and I will catch you guys on the next episode. I'm out. Peace.
Thanks for listening to the Introvert Dating Success Podcast. Visit us at introvertdatingsuccess.com for more great tips on attracting women using your natural introvert charm. Oh, yeah.